What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
The Isuzu brand is poorly distributed in Russia, primarily as one of the foreign manufacturers of trucks. In fact, the company has quite extensive interests in the world of passenger cars, although in our country it is known mainly by old models, in particular by Trooper. Surprisingly, this car was sold under a wide variety of makes and names. Isuzu as well as Chevrolet Trooper was common in Asia, and in other regions it was promoted as Monterey under Opel, Vauxhall and Holden brands. Honda and Acura were called Horizon and SLX. Subaru, as well as Isuzu itself, marketed the vehicle as the Bighorn. The Sanju 39 Trooper was sold in the Chinese domestic market. Basically, the SUV was assembled in Japan, USA and Philippines. The second-generation Trooper is a real classic. Large body on a powerful frame, independent front torsion bar suspension, rear axle and 4 levers, the cars before the middle of 1992 can have rear leaf spring suspension, an old-style frame, voluminous gasoline V6 and a couple of diesel, in fact, cargo motors under the hood. Automatics and even manual boxes were supplied by Aisin. From high technologies of the 90s, the car got automatic hubs in front axle drive and possibility to connect all-wheel drive on the move. On restyling it is possible even to include automatic mode. There is also a self-locking differential in the rear axle. Timeline October 1991. Appearance of the second-generation Isuzu Trooper with gasoline sixes 3.2 with 12 valves and 175 horsepower or 24-valve version with output of 193 horsepower. Both engines are available with 5-speed manual or 4-speed automatic. The body is 3-door short wheelbase or 5-door long wheelbase. All models have plug-in all-wheel drive and an optional self-lock in the rear axle. In regional versions the car could be rear-wheel drive. March 1992. In the engine lineup appears diesel engine 3.1, producing 114 horsepower and working exclusively with the automatic transmission. Summer 1997. The interior is updated. Versions until the end of 1998 are considered transitional. Fall 1998. Full-fledged restyling of the model. Changes in appearance, equipment. A new gasoline engine 3.5 liters with an output of 215 horsepower, a new turbo diesel 3.0, 159 horsepower, available also with automatic transmission. Instead of rigid connection of the front axle, the version with torque on demand, TOD, all-wheel drive, automatic axle connection became available. 2002, the model is removed from the assembly line in the US, but remains in production in Thailand and Japan. 2006, the last copies of the Trooper are produced. Body. Exterior panels. Only the most well-maintained copies survived until today, and mostly after restyling. Earlier cars rarely appear on sale and are little used in one hands. About the reasons, a little below. The chances that Trooper will be in native paint are 0. Even in the southern regions the cars are rotten, what to speak about Moscow and St. Petersburg. The reason is not so much in age, but in weak paintwork and plastic dodger, which provokes accumulation of dirt. Thick metal only prolongs the agony. The external inspection should be as thorough as possible, because not only arches and sills are often re-welded here, but also waste. High doors, side door and windshield frames, front and rear panels are repaired. In general, almost any element of the body can be welded by hand. The quality of work also varies dramatically, some where they weld in original elements or new stamped, some where they patch from suitable metal, and sometimes they just mold an element of putty. Here it is necessary not just with a thickness gauge to look for problem places, but with an awl, as in Soviet times. Well, and pay attention to the quality of painting and work in general, the presence of plastic panels, foliage, whether the rubber seals were removed during painting. The more signs of cheap repairs, the more expenses you will face. Original iron is frankly expensive, and used is almost impossible to find. The car is not the most popular, literally everything is in short supply. Body clearances are initially large, this is not an indicator. But be on the lookout, check the geometry of the openings, the condition of the main welding joints in the openings, and make sure there are no cracks. The body is weak by today's standards, so the torsional rigidity is not great. Well, and certainly, traces of off-road exploitation should be searched carefully. Dirt in internal cavities and frame spars always greatly increases operating costs. Underneath for a frame off-roader, the main power element is the frame itself. Trooper's frame is powerful, with a closed profile and complex shape. In the best English tradition, if you know what I mean, what we are talking about, like all frames with closed spars, it rots to holes with time. The main problem areas are located at the rear crossmember, the section from the middle outrigger brackets and the rear lower arm bracket to the spring support. Here the lower part of the spar often rots and cracks, and if the frame is overloaded in torsion, it starts to crack in the area of the crossmember. The front of the frame is slightly better, except that the crossmember under the radiators is collapsing. Very often the frame has already been re-welded using rectangular section tubing. On the right, under the rear door, the VIN number is stamped on the frame, and it often literally disappears. Not only that, but next to the number is a problem spot where the frame is constantly being welded up. That is why there are so few Isuzu Troopers on sale. Most of them are on eternal registration. They can be reissued only with expertise, and that is if you are very lucky. It is fair to say that in general, the quality of frame execution is better than that of the same Mitsubishi, but due to the rarity of the machines, there are much more problems in case of breakage, and the age takes its toll. In cars of release till 98 year on a frame already, usually patches are welded to patches. Alas, there are very few copies in which the frame would be processed and normally serviced. When buying, you should first of all look at the condition of the frame and its numbers. Inspection of the body from underneath should be done on an elevator and after washing the arches, because everything rots here. First of all, of course, the sills and the lower part of the middle pillar suffer. It is necessary to remove covers at the bottom of door openings, and it would be good to get into the cavities of sills with an endoscope to understand how and what is repaired there. Even in SUVs after 2002, the sills are often already replaced. The arches are also full of problems, the metal is rotten through. But these are trifles, the condition of the floors is more important. Even in cars of the latest production years, the floors can be almost completely missing, including in the trunk. In the passenger compartment, body crossbars, support mounting points and the underbody are rotting almost all over the area. Do not be lazy to meticulously inspect everything, even if the car externally almost flawless. Elevator up the carpets, check if there is any metal left underneath on the elevator. Minimal indulgences can be made only for cars that are operated in southern regions and have never seen snow and winter. Body equipment, the car is made Condovo, but the age and scarcity of spare parts greatly complicate operation. In relatively fresh copies, everything is relatively good, and the old ones have lost decorative elements of the body, often worn-out auxiliary mechanisms. And it is a problem to find windshields, glass moldings, mirrors, headlights, turn signals. And the same headlights before 1998 had an extremely conservative design with a metal housing and eventually lose tightness due to corrosion of the joint of the housing and glass. Poor access to the gas pump forces owners to saw hatches in the trunk floor for access or put in an external gas pump instead of a submersible. Power windows are still available new, and it's a marvel. True, the price of 20,000 rubles will certainly confuse those whose car is only 10 times more expensive. And there are almost no window elevators at the scrap yards. The lever design is extremely reliable, it is necessary only to change bushings and guides. It is still real imperial quality, but age and operating conditions take their toll. Sometimes you can find elements from GM warehouses for Opel Monterey, sometimes foreign online flea markets help. But in general, make sure that the car you are looking at is as complete as possible, as the search for any body elements for it is akin to a quest. Not on sale part original price of non-original 2 body front headlight not on sale not on sale windshield not on sale vendor 9056 front fender 76089 not on sale front bumper 61947 not on sale hood not on sale. Interior Trooper of the model after 1997 has a very nice interior with a flavor of healthy conservatism and Asian style. And the interior volume is pleasantly surprising. There is enough space in height, which is rare in frame cars. Interior design of early Trooper is outdated, but materials are still not bad, especially if you like the abundance of black plastic and velour, which is a favorite of Japanese. With wear resistance, everything is not bad. Some copies have been decently preserved. And nevertheless, it is not worth to count on excellent condition, even if the cars cost more than $500,000. From the technical side, everything is extremely reliable, even radiators of the heater die rarely. There are no mass breakdowns, except that it is a problem to find a car with a live air conditioner. Compressors have long ago failed. Often there are no condensers or trunk lines. But here again the matter is not in quality, but in service life and shortage of spare parts. Electricity in Trooper is simple, and the main part of failures occurs due to aging of wiring and plastic. There is also wear of alternators. It is traditionally difficult to buy new parts. Mostly owners are bothered by problems with motor wiring, door harnesses and relay failures, of which there are a lot. Because of the way SUVs operate, there are some surprising problems, such as fuse boxes oxidizing from the inside and dashboard boards falling apart, interior wiring corrosion, and broken harnesses due to a collapsing body. The bottom line: if there is a number on the frame and the body is relatively intact, you can take this old Isuzu. You just need to ask yourself a question: why? Beforehand. Although Trooper is not bad as a car and has a good cross-country ability, it had a great reliability reserve 25 years ago. Alas, now it is not the most practical choice in Russia. In conclusion, the Isuzu Trooper II presents a unique case in the world of classic SUVs. While its rugged design and off-road capabilities have earned it a loyal following, the issues of bodies without flaws, patches of putty, and vanishing VINs raise significant concerns for potential buyers. It's essential to approach this vehicle with caution, thoroughly inspecting for structural integrity and authenticity. Ultimately, the Trooper II can be a rewarding project for enthusiasts willing to invest the time and effort, but it's crucial to be aware of the challenges that come with it. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more insights on classic vehicles.